Hi, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to this afternoon panel, which is a first for us. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Veva, and I'm here today on behalf of India Gesta and of the Community Film Festival that has this year come to its 18th edition. Really important one for us, our coming of age, and we're celebrating this event by talking about our generation. My generation is the theme of this year's festival. And as I mentioned, this is a first for us. It's the first time we've done something like this with guests from all across the world, really. So I'm not wasting any time. I would like you guys to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about you and what is your bond with our festival. Firstly, Lauren.
Hi. Thanks for having me today. My name is Lauren Thielen. I'm the Director of Programming at the Nashville Film Festival in Nashville, Tennessee, in the United States. Very happy to be a part of this. It's so cool to talk to other filmmakers and festival organizers from around the globe. Nashville, our film festival is turning 54 this year, and we're very excited. Yeah, what else? Like I said, I'm the director of programming. I used to be at the Chicago International Film Festival before here, and I love film, so let's get into it. I'm excited to talk.
Brilliant. Said?
Oh, yes. So I'm Sayed, and thank you for inviting me to this panel. I consider myself like indie storyteller, designer/designer. I've been doing like many different things like as an artist, and currently I'm involved in character animation. I got my architectural degree like many years ago. I practiced as an architect for several years, and then gradually I started getting interested in filmmaking and animation in particular. And then I got my master degree in animation. I made light side short animation, which was well received in different festivals, including the community.
It was, yeah.
And then I started to get more interested into new forms of storytelling in immersive mediums, virtual reality. And when we moved into Canada, I started studying and getting my master degree in design with focus on storytelling in virtual reality. And then I was a research assistant and research creator in quite a few virtual reality experiences. And then I'm currently honing my character animation skills and happy to be part of this panel. And let's discuss films and storytelling.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And Anna.
Hello, buongiorno. Is this the right to say?
Always right to say.
So happy to be virtually part of the SC Minuti, but like this festival, I was there with my film, short film Ice, and even got this editing award, and it was such a beautiful experience. So I'm a filmmaker, also composer. My background is in contemporary art. And also experimental folk music. Right now, I just finished my first long feature, a documentary called Smoke Sauna Sisterhood, and we will premiere it in Sundance. And that was like totally like out from like when I think back to when I started, I was only dreaming about reaching there, and then they also gave me best directing award in this world documentary. So right now it is a busy time where I'm traveling all around the world with the film and learning more about the industry in a way that I never expected to know.
That's absolutely great to hear. Best of luck to your latest project. Let's get to our conversation today and what we plan to discuss, which is the role of film festivals. Like, if there's one thing that binds us all together, is like we're all somehow involved into filmmaking, film festivals. Personally, I've been involved in this film festival pretty much since the very beginning, and I can tell in the 13 years that I've been involved that the role, the way we organize it, everything has changed. Everything has been evolving in a way to almost like adapt to the needs of the latest, the latest needs, the latest trends. So, what is your view on that? How do you think the role of film festival is changing and adapting to the era we live in? Really, Lauren.
Yeah, that certainly is a loaded question. I feel like there's so many different aspects and layers to that. I think for me, what I've noticed, over the last, 3 years, since kind of coming out of COVID now, something that I think has happened is I feel more of an openness and connection with other festival organizers and festivals. I think, I've been in the festival industry now on the organizer's end for about 8 years. And prior to COVID, I sort of felt like there was really no camaraderie or sharing of ideas and goals and missions between film festivals. It always almost felt like everyone was gatekeeping their own stuff, and it was a very competitive industry. But ever since COVID happened, we've all kind of had to start sharing in a way that we weren't doing before. And again, this is just my perspective, but I really feel like I've gained a lot more of a community in the film festival industry, especially this year. There's a lot of amazing organizations out there that, have discussions for festival organizers, for filmmakers. I think our goals have always been the same, and that's to, kind of just show people the magic of film and how it's this sort of, cross-cultural educational tool. And I think I feel that now more than ever, because we've all had to kind of come together, rewrite the script, and there's just so much. I just feel very positive about the future of film festivals and the community that is stronger now more than ever.
That's very true. It's very interesting. Syed, what is your view on the matter?
Yeah, I think as Lauren mentioned, it's a big question. I guess there are many things to be included. But on my thought on it is that definitely after pandemic, things are obviously getting more virtual. So we are relying on virtual platforms, technologies. What I think is that there are two things, like there are advantages and disadvantages, I guess, because definitely both tools and platforms are getting more available and accessible to both filmmakers, creators, and audience. But at the same time, it's like there is a huge competition for attention, grabbing the attention. So to stand out, it's a bit difficult somehow, because the level of noise is also increasing at the same time, many contents, many but at the same time, this democratization of content creation and consumption is something that I guess has been boosted up after the pandemic. Like to rely on just these new technologies, including virtual reality that I can talk about, is what I'm skeptical about is that relying on the big tech giant companies that, the idea of like mass surveillance, the idea of that how things are, because you're also sharing your privacy more and more. But at the same time, as I said, accessibility to all these festivals, to all these social platforms is something to celebrate, I guess. So yeah, that's my first thought on it. So yeah, there are many things that just comes to my mind. Yeah. So I hope I answered that
Of course, of course. This is
responsibly.
like,
Okay.
I just really want to get everyone's views on the subject, really. Anna, what are your thoughts?
I very much resonate what Lauren said. For me, what was also really went to my heart about this Dies Immunute Film Festival is that it's about community and building like a film family. And after film school, when I started to go to pitchings and with short film to festivals, and now with this long film, I feel, you know, I go there to wherever, and there is someone I know from the film family, and I have always felt this connection with fellow filmmakers and also you know like programmers. My recent experience after pandemic, there have been two festivals, was Sundance and then this Copenhagen festival. And in both of them, I felt this kind of sharing and this kind of human contact. I think when we were taken out from the human contact, we really have started to appreciate it. And even if it is through, like right now, through virtual reality, still like how to be connected and how to also support and not just compete. So these are my thoughts right now.
Thank you. Yeah, so I noticed that all of you mentioned somehow COVID, the pandemic, and how it has affected not only all aspects of the industry, really, from the making of content to the attendance at film festivals that, well, I can tell you from our point of view, from our experience, there was that year of COVID, we had it was all online. There was no one actually here. So in terms of content, firstly, like how do you think the making of like content products, films has changed? Because what you said earlier, people are getting used to being fed content constantly now. There's a lot of like social media platform that people consume like literally every day in every moment of their life. So has that somehow changed the way we make films in order to make them more appealing to, well, this generation of people that have been through the pandemic and they're so used to having like short, brief content, like everything accessible to them online. There was a time where for about a year and a half, we were not allowed to go cinemas or gather to watch films. So streaming platforms really took over to the point that now a lot of people don't even remember what it was like going to the cinema, because like they're just used to having everything fed to them. Do you think that has changed the way we make films, short films? Because obviously all of you are involved either in the making of films or Lauren in the organizing of film festivals. So have you noticed a change in how things are done in that from that perspective?
Yes, I can answer this like you said, from sort of the festival program or organizer perspective. I think both Said and Anna could probably answer better from the filmmaker side of things and how that world has changed for them. I mean, certainly, as Said mentioned, there's a lot of content to consume out there. There's a lot of film festivals, and I think the accessibility has really been a positive addition to the industry. As far as the changing of short films and how they're made specifically, I don't really know if I can answer that part of the question. I think that, you know, the quality of film has there's a different definition to it. I think COVID has changed the aesthetic and the way people have been storytelling. I also think that you know, for that time period of COVID, we were seeing a lot of very well, smaller budget, but very insular type projects taking place in one location. And so now coming out of COVID, I've definitely, that's a change I've definitely seen, is films kind of getting back to the world of the film feeling bigger and less small, I guess. I don't know if I'm answering this question good, but yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I've seen, is now that we're kind of, you know, COVID is still happening, but now that we're a bit on the other side, I've seen films kind of get back to not the way they used to be, but just bigger, and I don't know, there's more heart to it. They're more mindful, kind of like what Anna was saying about the community. It just feels more thoughtful. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
thank you.
So shall I add to it if you
want?
So I guess from creation, creating the side of it, I think definitely the canvas that artists are given affects how we create things. So when you're creating for a small screen like Instagram page, the aspect ratio, just as a simple example, to the how people are like interaction behavior with the content is all affecting how you create content. Personally, how it's been affecting my creation is that definitely I got into more creating very short cycles, animation that could be repeated, like in installations, like it's just, you can just watch it over and over again. But knowing the fact that audience will not stay there on your content for a long time, it's just a couple of seconds maybe. So this is not something that I really admire, because I really like what festivals have been doing, like providing a space for a private connection with, like, on a large screen, like in a dark room. That's kind of respecting the creation itself more. Although it's cinematic experience is a collective experience, but you gather in like in one room, you're as participants. But it's, again, it provides us like somehow a private connection, intimate connection with the content that is lost in platforms like Instagram. But in virtual reality, that could be brought back to virtual experience. So you have things like platforms like big screen, VR chat, that you could basically do the same thing, project like flat screen content, but in a virtual space. What things like Venice Film Festivals did were really good examples, like how people are brought into virtual space just to celebrate the festival, to celebrate the films. But definitely it's affecting how we are creating. I personally don't like the mass production of like the fast food kind of culture of making and consuming. That's not that's not what I really think is healthy in a cultural, I guess, context. But personally, I think virtual reality might provide that space. Again, acknowledging that how that could be also dangerous, relying too much on the tech giants. So anyways, that was, I don't know if that made any sense, but
it does. Yeah, that was what I was asking, really, like how we have to somehow like adapt what we do to make sure it's tailored to these new audiences. Anna, what are your thoughts about this?
From the creation point of view, definitely what has changed is there are many more meetings online. and it actually has helped a lot because before COVID, it was somehow, we didn't think that we could connect also or meet the crew online. And of course, meeting face to face is always better, but still it has, like I was shooting a short film that just right now, we locked it on Indian huge garbage mountain last year, and having Zooms with India from Estonia. I come from Estonia. It was very essential, and it became like important way in the pre-production or making sure for the production. But the content, I mean, the technical things, what you already others said, but I think as a filmmaker, I don't know, you still have your themes and your things that you want to say from your heart, and in that way it doesn't change. I don't feel that I have changed in that way, that there are still issues that are really burning inside me, and maybe just COVID has made it more apparent to me, the importance of community and connection. That's true, that has changed. And meeting also the audience. So right now my film, we have a cinema release in Estonia, and it is really made into a cinema hall, like into the dark space, and we have very good numbers. People, they're like before COVID, they're coming to cinema because they want that experience. They kind of trust that this film is made for the cinema, and and it has now been sold to more than 20 territories. So there is interest. And but what is definitely very changed is how you, in the PR, for example, that you in the advertisement or letting know about your film, it is in social media, and there are talks through Zoom and all that. But the content, what you as a filmmaker need to say, I mean, that is that is beyond forms in a way. I mean, form is also coming there, but it has to come from your heart. That's what I believe.
That is very true. That is very true. Thank you, Anna. Something else I was keen to discuss with you today was this other role that film festivals have, which is being somehow the first step for like filmmakers, actors to get themselves known. And I'm so glad that we've got like all of you with different experiences, like again, Lauren on the organization side, and Sayed and Anna as having participated into a number of film festivals. So how important is the role of film festivals as almost like a platform for filmmakers to get themselves known, get themselves like out there? Lauren.
I mean, they're vital, I think, as far as filmmakers and putting their stories out there. I mean, there's so many different film festivals that give platforms to niche subjects, to broad subjects. I mean, a shorts film festival, an Oscar qualifying film festival, a horror thriller film festival. There's something for everyone. And I think Anna said this earlier. It's like a film festival family. The networking portion of it is invaluable to filmmakers and festival organizers, to meet people who are creating these amazing projects and sharing their stories. And like I mentioned before, this cross-cultural connection. I mean, it goes without saying, it's a major part of the entertainment industry. I think what film festivals, what makes them so special is, like you said, giving a platform to, fresh and underrepresented voices. I feel like this kind of ties back to the last question, but Anna said, you know, maybe what's changed is, you know, she has this sort of like burning passion inside her to get her thoughts and ideas out there, because COVID really put a damper on all that. And I've really appreciated seeing all of the very authentic and just new voices that have come to the film festival industry and discussing their projects. I think we're seeing topics and subjects that weren't really completely fleshed out and discussed before, and it's so refreshing to see filmmakers really just, you know, not apologizing or sugarcoating what they're putting out there. And yeah, I mean, that experience, either as an audience member, as a filmmaker, as a festival organizer, is just something so special. And whether you're, you know, a small film festival, a regional film festival, or one of the marquee film festivals, there's a place for everyone. And I think that it's just so valuable for filmmakers. So whether, you know, if you're a student filmmaker or someone just trying to break into the industry, there's a plethora of film festivals for you to, you know, get your start and be a part of. And just because, you know, there's a film festival for everyone, just because one of them isn't right for you doesn't mean that there isn't another one out there that wouldn't showcase your work and take an interest in it. So, I mean, the role of film festivals is crucial.
That is very true. And Anna, you were just mentioning earlier how you are basically traveling all across the world with your latest production. So can you tell us a bit more about that? How's that worked for you? Like, how have film festivals helped you get your works out there?
I mean, right now the film came out in January. In Sundance, so it is a fresh thing, world premiered, and I mean it is crucial. It is just crucial. I mean, also the fact that our sales agent is Outlook Films. They sold it already pre-sold to more than 20 territories. It would not have happened, I think, without Sundance, and maybe also without that award. And I mean, for me personally, I'm not believing in competing. I'm believing in this community, but I see how much it has made just risen the interest and for people to check it out and what is beautiful is that you can go to, like, for example, Sundance is a very prestigious film festival, but it is so warm and like a community. And that for me is so beautiful that I believe that filmmaking, you know, you cannot do it alone. And that's why it's so beautiful that it forces us to connect, and film festivals are also crucial because of all the people, all the industry coming there, and you understand that also distributing your film, or what happens when the film is done, you cannot do it alone. And maybe you're right now, this film doesn't resonate with the people you meet, but you make a connection, and they might be interested to collaborate with something else. So it's crucial. And right now I'm tomorrow going to Iceland, and then there will be constant travel. And what is also nice is that I feel how audience wants to come after the screening to hug and to, you know, share their stories and cry and laugh. And this is, they're so open. Also, the audience is open to that. So I think it reminds us our humanity and how we are all connected despite our different backgrounds and differences.
Thank you.
That's the essence for me. That's the essence for me.
Thank you. Sayed, what's your experience with film festivals?
Oh gosh, I think both Lauren and Anna just responded to that beautifully, and I guess they touched on all the things I wanted to say. But yeah, definitely, it's I guess it's about connection. I think filmmaking is about just making, like, you need someone to hear your voice. So festivals are there just to facilitate that, just to connect people. And I guess especially for those who are not necessarily, they don't necessarily are aiming, but for like mainstream, I guess, commercial distributions, they want just a platform to share their voice. So festivals are doing that greatly. So there are, as Lauren mentioned, there, like, for each film there is one festival to raise that voice. And again, it's for me, for instance, just getting into, and also my wife Simin, getting into the Humanity Festival that year, you can't believe how beautiful it was. Like, yeah, it just knowing like new cultures, new people, and just, yeah, this connection of different cultures. Yeah, I mean, it's so crucial that you cannot elaborate. So yeah, I guess everything is said by Lauren and Anna, and I totally agree with that.
Brilliant, thank you. I've actually got one final question for you. In the light of everything we've just discussed, so how things have been changing and how the industry has had to adapt to these new times that we're living in, and also in the light of our theme this year, My Generation, what is your advice to this new generation of emerging filmmakers or artists, like screenwriters, in any aspect of the industry? If you could give one piece of advice to this generation of filmmakers, what would that be, Lauren? Caught you off guard there.
Yeah, it's okay. I think thinking back to myself in undergrad and my relationship to the world of film festivals at that point, it was very minimal. I didn't quite know what a film festival meant or what it entailed. So I guess for this new generation of filmmakers, or students, or whatever you define as new generation of filmmakers, I think the one piece of advice I would say would just be to go to a film festival and educate yourself. Kind of what we were saying about with the last question, there's so much to learn, there's so much community, there's so much inspiration. I would say immerse yourself in a film festival, and really find out what it's all about and find your community and see if that community works for you. In addition to just the sharing of ideas, you learn about what it means to market your film, distribute your film, producing, screenwriting. There's so many aspects that a film festival can teach you. And even just going to see a film can give you a lot of inspiration. So my biggest piece of advice would be to go to a film festival, meet people, other filmmakers, other festival organizers, and learn about the festival industry and this culture, because you don't just go straight from film school to the mainstream, to Hollywood, to having someone come on as a producer for your film and giving you a millions of dollar budget and making your dream project. It doesn't happen that way. You need to look at your project, whatever that is, and put it up next to other people's work and see where, in order to see where your creative aspects might fall short, or where they're excelling. You need to consume and see other people's work and talk to people in order to, I think, be successful in the industry. So go to a film festival.
That's very true. Thank you. Anna?
Oh, Lauren already said so precisely that I think one of very important aspect, I mean the essence. What more I can say is for the filmmakers is to trust their inner voice. I have not done it. I have made myself very wrong for many years, and I have been very broken. And so, for example, when this award right now came, then for me it was not about award or some kind of competition to be better or something like this. It was talking to that 15-year-old Anna who was so scared of the world and broken, but felt this inner urge to make films. That you know, when you trust your voice, when you trust your dream, it is not possible alone. And here comes again the film festival and the community. I don't believe that it is possible just alone. We are humans. We need connection. We need support, and having this community and supporting your voice. This is my biggest advice to filmmakers.
Thank you, Anna. Syed.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I guess I would say getting out of your comfort zone. I guess that's trying to, I guess, meet with new people, new cultures, eat new foods. I'm just getting exposed to different cultures, different people, and also experiment with different tools. Even if one tool or one medium is you're more comfortable using one specific medium, it's a good idea just to experiment with different things, and sometimes different professions, I guess. And that would be and also getting connected to different generations as well. Older people, younger people. I guess that's all. I'm attending a class now, anime school. I don't know if you've heard of it. I'm in one class with people who are like 20 years younger than me. So it's interesting because you see people of different motivations. It's all learning process for all of us. And as Anna mentioned, that we really need as humans connections with different people. And it brings to light aspects of our own, I guess, personality that is unknown to ourselves. When you're connected to other people's, you know yourself more. So yeah, that's, I guess, that would be my, yeah, I guess it was many pieces of advice. Anyways.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You have been absolutely brilliant. It's been such a pleasure to be in this panel with you today. And it's been such an honor to hear from all of you, from your different experiences. And I guess if it wasn't for, like, as we discussed, for like things and how they've changed in the last few years, we've had to learn, we had to adapt and learn to connect with people in a different way. It's all about that connection that Anna talked about just earlier. And maybe a few years back, we wouldn't have thought of running this panel this way. But yeah, it's brilliant that we've managed to get that connection going, even though we are in different corners of the world. It's been absolutely my pleasure to have you here today. And I think we've come to the end of our conversation. So thank you very much once again. It's been brilliant having you and hear from your different experiences, and looking forward to welcoming you here in Chicano anytime. You don't have to wait for next festival. Just drop us a call. Come by anytime, right? Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.